What are you doing? Okay, good afternoon. I am Jeff Powell. I am the Director of Operations here at the North Georgia Zoo in Cleveland, Georgia. I hope that you're having a great day. I know that a lot of you are stuck at home right now wishing you could get out in the sunshine, but you're taking precautions. We applaud that. We're glad that you're doing that. So we thought, hey, let's take the zoo to you. So today is our very first Wildlife Wonders at 1. We'll be doing those every weekday at 1 o'clock. Be live on Facebook and on Instagram. So tune in every day. Without further ado, let me introduce you to Rachel Heck. Rachel is our Director of Visitor Experience here at the North Georgia Zoo, and she's got a friend with her.
All right, so today we have, this is Minnow. Minnow is an Asian Small Clawed Otter. Asian Small Clawed Otters are native to Southeast Asia. They are found in tidal pools and hill streams. That being said, they're always semi-aquatic, so they do spend quite a bit of time on land and in the water. You can tell by their feet. Their webbing is only partially webbed. So the partial webbing of their feet gives them the ability to swim, but also to be able to have the dexterity to grab a hold and be able to catch their food. Now, Asian small clawed otters are only one of 2 species that grab their food with their hands instead of their mouth, and that is these Asian small clawed otters and the sea otters. There are 13 species of otters in the world, and they range in size from, this is the smallest, to 4 to 5 feet is the giant otters found in South America. Jeff, if you don't mind handing me that little elephant over there. So we do a lot of reduce, reuse, recycle here, and so to keep Minnow here enriched, she has this little elephant toy. And what she's doing is she's showing her foraging behaviors. Inside that little elephant is some tubes with some treats and food in it. And so she's able to reach in there and use her hands to be able to find her treats. She's going to play with it again for a second, looking for some more treats there. But so we use, with reduce, reuse, recycle, we do use things like toddler toys and other forms of enrichment, such as like Christmas trees and mulch and that kind of thing. So is there anybody that has any questions? I am happy to take any live questions, either today or in any of our segments. We can highlight any certain features that you want to know about, like Asian small clawed otters. They are fully grown at 6 months of age. At that point, they're going to stay with their family maybe a little bit longer. They'll live in groups of about 10 or so with a mated pair and their most recent offspring. Hi, Minnow. Is there any questions? Okay, cool. So I'm going to keep going. Some other cool features that Asian small clawed otters have is their whiskers. So on her face, she has lots of whiskers. If you want to come in and take a peek as she's trying to get into my pouch there. So all those whiskers help her to detect the turbulence in the water. So if a fish were swimming by, she'd be able to tell which direction it goes. And as she gets older, Minnow here is young, so she's not fully got her elbow whiskers, but they do have elbow whiskers too that help them for that same purpose. Hi, Minnow. I feel handing the ball. So Minnow here is learning how to grab the ball. For another form of enrichment and training, we tell her to grab, and she grabs a hold of the ball, and then I give her a treat. That is called positive reinforcement. Giving those treats helps her to know what she did is a reward, and she's able to know that we're going to ask for that behavior again, and know she'll get rewarded again. All right, Minnow, grab. Minnow, grab. Good. And so she'll get a reward.
Okay. So our first question is, why are they so curious?
Why are they so curious? They are on the go all the time, so they spend the majority of their day looking for food. So they're hunting. They're doing everything from sticking their feet down in the mud to look for clams to hunting for fish in the water. And so they're going to spend most of their day, they eat about 1/3 of their weight in a day, so they're going to spend most of their day looking for food with their hands down in the water and all of that. And then they'll go and they'll take a nice little nap. They actually sleep about 15 hours a day.
And what is her name?
This is Minnow. Minnow is just over a year old. Circle. Good.
Okay. How long can they stay out of water?
They are semi-aquatic, so they spend quite a bit of time on land. They actually live in a den on dry land and only come in the water to hunt for fish or to swim around and play. Thank you for your questions and engaging, guys. We absolutely love this. Connecting, keep you guys with the animals. Keep them coming. Until then, I'll keep going. So in the water, when they are in the water, so circle, good. Their ears, they have small ears. They can hear pretty well, but they have a valve system in their ears. So when they're swimming in the water, it actually closes off and keeps water out of their ear canal. Right here, grab. Good. And then they also will close their nostrils when they're in the water as well to keep water out of their sinus cavity. But they are from fresh water, so they don't have like a nictitating membrane. They do just open their eyes and see in the water. And so naturally, she'd reach in her arms in there just like that into the mud. Jeff, will you hand me the yellow toy? Alright, so this one, if you want to grab that elephant one for me, please. Thank you. Alright, so this little toy is going to mimic like if she were looking under a rock or something. So she already knows that if she flips that over, she's going to find a treat. So also when they're in the water, their tail is not the actual rudder when they're swimming. So when they're swimming, they're going to paddle with their front feet and then they'll steer with their back feet. This would be an Asian small clawed otters. Their claws are small. So they mostly use those for grooming. There are a few species of otters that are called no-clawed otters because they don't actually have claws and need them for catching and getting their food. Alright, so one other cool feature that they do have a double layered coat. So their undercoat, if you want to zoom in here, see if she'll let me show you. She's going to say hi. So curious. So their undercoat is actually so dense that it doesn't even get wet when they're swimming. And so the outer coat will get wet, but the undercoat stays dry, and that actually helps them to thermoregulate. So when they're in the water, if like say in the wintertime in Laos, it could get down to 40 degrees, that water's gonna be pretty cold. So that'll help them stay warm enough in those temperatures because they still have to go out and hunt even in the wintertime. But they're mostly going to go in the water at that point, get their fish, and come back out and hang out in their dens. Question?
What is the average lifespan of an otter?
Alright, so Asian small clawed otters will typically live between 10 to 12 years. It's pretty average for them. They are in the mustelid family. That is closely related to weasels and ferrets, bearcats, badgers, all in that same family. And within those families, most of them, they have anal scent glands. And what they're doing is they are secreting a smell to mark things like territory. But the other forms of communication they use with that, like they can know if they come up across a scent that was left by another otter, they would know how long ago the scent was left. They would know if it was a female in estrus, and then they could tell also if it was their significant otter. So they can tell if the scent was left by their family members. Any other question? Okay. Well, all right, guys, we're going to wrap up for today. This is our Asian small clawed otter minnow. We are still open by reservation only for the time being, and we will keep you updated daily with that. But until anything changes, we are going to continue to do these segments at 1 o'clock on weekdays, and we will be featuring different animals every time. Thank you.